I heard there's been a quiet roundup of Jews in Toulouse the last couple of weeks. And what's a Polish engineer doing on a train in southern France? You understand?
Concentration camp?
Why? A lot of people have been volunteering for work in Germany. That's no secret. They're doubling the ration for anybody who goes.
The cars are locked on the outside. And they stink. I can smell the stench 100 yards away. Babies are crying inside. You can hear them. And women, they don't lock volunteers in that way. I never heard of it.
Incident at Vichy takes place in Vichy, France. It's 1942, during World War II. And Vichy, France was the capital of unoccupied France. Occupied France was controlled by the Nazis, and unoccupied France was also controlled by the Nazis, but they had a puppet government in place, the Vichy government. The French and the Nazis had begun rounding up Jews in the unoccupied portion of France to ship them off to concentration camps.
A group of men who show up at this space have been rounded up, and they don't know why they're there. And there are different rumors that it's an identity check, that it is a roundup of Jews, and it's how these men deal with the situation. It's sort of an absurd situation. They've been rounded up based on their race, or if you're a gypsy, and so it's how the play's about how people respond to those situations, sort of an absurd situation.
As the more information gets revealed, as the people in the room learn more about what's going on, or sort of discuss about what's going on in their imaginations, because they don't really know, the stakes get raised. And they find out little pieces of information here, and the stakes are constantly being raised. So the tension keeps getting higher and higher.
As the play moves along, the Nazis come out of the office, they choose another guy, he goes in, and he either gets released or kept. And so as the play moves, there are fewer and fewer and fewer people on stage, until at the end there are 2, then 1. And that's, so what's great about the play is it is exciting in that sense. It's kind of, there's a thriller aspect to it.
The play is beautifully written, and rehearsing a play like that, where the more you dig into it, the more you discover, is incredibly gratifying. But I have to say, the most gratifying thing is seeing it in front of the audience, and for 90 minutes, it's pin drop silent. And that's incredibly gratifying as a director, to know that you've created that kind of world where people are just rapt. And it's that kind of play. It's a very compelling play.
Why do you deserve to live more than I do? Because I am incapable of doing what you were doing. I am better for the world than you. Means nothing to you. That I have feelings about us? Nothing whatever, unless you get us out of here.
And then what? Then what?
I will remember a decent German. An honorable German.
It was something that Arthur Miller had written about this play. He said, the play is set in 1942, but it's about today. And I think that's even more true now. The themes are so universal, and it speaks so deeply, I think, to what it means to be a human being.
It's too easy just to say the nasty Nazis, the evil Germans are to blame for this. I think he really believed that it's a human failing. I mean, this has happened throughout human history, where one group, persecutes another group.
These sorts of things still happen. You face on a daily basis the question of, when authority says to you, do this, do you do it or not? Questions of how much government, how little government, what's right, what's wrong, what's your personal responsibility for what happens in the world, and I think that is always relevant.
I think that the audience will really sort of identify with the men on the bench, the men who've been brought here, who are being, about to sort of meet their destiny one way or the other. And I think it's a really intense experience.
I think audiences can expect to see a beautifully wrought drama, and I hope they will see that it's finely presented.